guys, welcome back to Deadly Toy Boxings. Today, I'm going to be doing a video of the top 5 best horror movies of the 1970s. Now, these top 5 best horror movies are probably my top 5 favorites, but if it was the list of my top 5 favorites, it would probably be the same movies, but the order will change a little bit. But this is like an order of the top 5 best, and which I think is the true best, and they're probably my top 5 favorites too. And I think the 1970s was just a really strong decade for horror movies and stuff. We got some of the absolute best horror movies out there from this decade. So I want to count down the top 5 best horror movies of the 1970s. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, coming in at number 5 is going to be the original Alien from 1979. Now, this film is such a classic film. It's one of the best space films ever. This is when they created that awesome monster. This film has just so much iconic scenes that changed horror history. I mean, come on. I mean, that scene where the freaking weird alien worm, weird, crazy, slimy thing comes out of the guy's freaking chest or stomach, whatever. It's such an iconic scene, and it changed horror history forever. And this film also has an amazing final girl. She's a badass, and she knows how to survive the alien, and the ending is just so great. And this film, it's a great sci-fi movie. I love how the entire film takes place in space. I just love those films where the entire film just takes place in space. It's weird, but it's still cool. And I just love the whole gang, like, in the freaking spaceship. And then the last one standing is the final girl. And like I said, it's a great final girl and stuff. It is just such a great horror classic. And yeah, and everyone knows Alien if they like horror movies. So yeah, that should definitely be on everyone's top 5 list. All right, at number 4 is going to be Halloween from 1978, the original. This film is iconic. It's such a great film. It's one of the best slasher films ever made. John Carpenter just did such an amazing job and introduced one of the most iconic villains in movie history. Not just horror history, movie history. Michael Myers is just such an iconic villain, and this is the movie that introduced Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, which is one of the most iconic final girls of all time. This film was just super well made, and then this is the film that introduced Dr. Loomis, and after that film, there was a bunch of other Halloween films, but it came from this very one, from John Carpenter, and it's just such an amazing film. If you haven't seen Halloween 1978, and which you haven't, you're crazy. You have to watch this film because it's such an iconic horror classic. And out of Michael Myers, Freddy, and Jason, the big 3 horror icons, Michael Myers pretty much started those 3 horror icons from this film. And I love how, like, kind of creepy this film is, and just such an iconic scene when freaking Michael Myers is behind the bush. I know I keep saying iconic, but I mean, so many horror movies from the 70s are iconic, okay? But, I mean, just that freaking scene when Michael Myers is behind that, like, bush, or whatever you call it, that big, tall bush, is such an iconic scene. It's such a great horror film, and it definitely deserves to be on this list. Coming in at number 3 is going to be Steven Spielberg's Jaws. Now, I freaking love this film. Who doesn't like Jaws? It's one of the most famous films in movie history. Not even horror movie history, movie history. Bruce the Shark is so iconic, and this film terrified people back in the 70s. To me, this is my favorite movie by Steven Spielberg. I think he just did the best job on this movie. And, I mean, seriously, who doesn't like Jaws? And Brody, Hooper, and Quint is just one of the most awesome trios. It's one of my favorites. While they're trying to hunt down this insane shark, trying to kill them, is honestly a terrifying premise. And the shark looks so real, and and just the underwater shots are just so amazing, and the beginning is so just great, and everything about this film I wouldn't change. It definitely needs to be on this list. The acting is phenomenal, and I pretty much love everything about this film. I wouldn't really change it. And Quinn's death in this film is one of the best movie deaths ever. It's such a great death, and it's just how he just gets freaking ripped apart by this killing machine underwater is so, it's terrifying. It's terrifying just getting ripped apart and going like this and stuff and just stuff like that. It's scary. It's scary. It's actually really scary to think. And I love watching this film. I love watching this film. And 1 year ago, it celebrated its 50th anniversary. So happy 50th birthday, Jaws. And this is just such a great film. All right, coming in at number 2 is what people call the best horror movie of all time and the scariest on most lists, and that's going to be The Exorcist. This film is so iconic. This film is so great. I honestly think it is one of the best horror films ever made. Regan McNeil is such an iconic character. Such an iconic character. Regan as a freaking monster, or whatever you call it, it's scary. It's super freaking scary. And I'm calling it scary even though this film never really scared me. But I'm saying it's scary because it scared a bunch of other people back in the 70s. This film changed horror history forever. And just every character is just so iconic. And I just love how gross and disgusting they made Regan throughout the movie. It's like, and then in the beginning, she's normal. And then a freaking demon goes inside her body, and then she just turns more gross and disgusting and scary and stuff. And the demon Pazuzu, which you only see in 2 seconds of the movie, it's freaking an iconic character. It's one of the coolest looking monsters. Everything about this film is so great, and I definitely think it needs to be on this list. And I totally understand why people call it the best horror film of all time. I really think it is one of the best horror films of all time because it's just so iconic, and it's scary. It's scary for other people, you know? And it changed horror movie history. And The Exorcist and The Priest, it's just so popular, famous. I don't want to say iconic because I literally said that word like 200 times in this video, but I guess I'm going to keep saying it. I'll probably have to edit it out. But anyway, this film is freaking awesome. It's so popular. And for 1973, they made this film look so real. It looks so freaking real. Like Regan, the monster look of Regan, it looks so real. And when she freaking vomits that weird stuff on the priest, it looks so real. That's what makes the film scary, and that's what makes it one of the most iconic films. And it's great. It's great, and it's just such a great horror film. So it definitely needs to be on this list, and I definitely think it deserves to be number 2. Okay, at number 1, if you have been watching my channel, you probably know what this film is. It's my favorite film of all time. In my opinion, it's the best horror film ever made. That's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is my favorite, not only horror film, my favorite film of all time. Of how freaking real and great this film is. It is such a masterpiece by Tobe Hooper, and it's just wow. I think it's the best horror film ever made because of these reasons. 1, the characters are great, and the 5 victim characters are so great, and they don't know that they stumble across a house that a psychopathic cannibal family lives in. And the family in this film of Leatherface, it makes the film way scarier, and it makes the film more horror. And it's just the fact that they're cannibals and they're just like all crazy and wild. It just makes the film way more scary. And Leatherface is probably the best horror character of all time. I love all of his masks in this film. The killing mask is my favorite mask that he wears. It is one of the best horror masks ever. Then you got the old woman, which is also a great mask. It's probably my least favorite out of the 3, but still, it's a great horror mask. It's still one of the best. And then you finally got the Pretty Woman mask, which is probably the scariest out of all of them. And it's so scary. And the whole concept of this movie is just great. And without the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we wouldn't have so many more horror movies. I don't know which one came first, Black Christmas or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't know, but they both came out the same year. But I don't know. But those two films started slasher history. And those two films started Michael Myers, probably, Jason, Freddy, like all of those guys. It probably started from those two films, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre is just, it's the best horror film ever made. If you haven't seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre, what the hell are you doing? It's my favorite horror film of all time, and not just mine, it's probably a lot of others, because it's such an amazing horror film. It's the best ever made. I think that's true. And Marilyn Burns as Sally is one of the best final girls of all time. It's definitely probably like in my top 3 final girls probably. And she's just the best final girl for a film like this. So if you haven't seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, what the actual hell are you doing? Alright guys, that is my top 5 list of the best horror movies of the 1970s. I bet I'm going to be doing one from the 80s and the 90s and heck, maybe even the 2000s. But for now, this is the list. This is my list of the top 5. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your top 5 favorite horror movies of the 70s list is. I'd love to know. But until next time, guys, keep your toys where you can see them. I'll see you guys later. Bye.